let's go ahead and open up the doors. Hello, everybody. My name is Becca Dukes, and everybody should be muted as they are coming into the Zoom room. Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We could grab that. There we go. Mute. Got it. Okay. Hello, and welcome to Daily with Doc. My name is Becca Dukes, and I am super excited for today's show as we are going to be bringing something kind of a little different than normal. So we talk about empowering individuals and being empowered and being able to make choices based on having information that you may not get from other places. And today is like no other, because today we are going to be talking about advanced team building, folks, where we use our passion for people, for nutrition, for technology, for business, and not just to be physically healthy, but also financially healthy. And I have an amazing team that I am a part of, and we are going to be presenting some information to you that can maybe inspire you to jump in with us or get a hold of the person that referred you to this program or the persons you are already working with within the Youngevity family, because we are an amazing community, folks. So if you were invited by somebody specific, we want to make sure that you get back with them. If you found us on your own, and I know, Jonty, I know, if you found us on your own and you have skills that you would like to put to work for a greater purpose than you yourself can do all on your own, make sure that you get a hold of us. Go to DailywithDoc.com, use that contact option, and send me an email, folks. Yes, I do receive the emails. Yes, I do respond to them. And we have an amazing team that helps me in doing so. So if you're out on any of the platforms, make sure that you say hello. Make sure that you are following us, Critical Health News, on your favorite streaming platform, or Daily with Doc. So just do a search for Daily with Doc and you will find us also on many different platforms. And that is the beauty of technology, folks. We're able to reach beyond the belly to belly, beyond our next door neighbor or our family or close friends, and really share a message that is bringing new life and hope to others. Well, today we have some special guests, and I would like to invite them to the screen with me. So we have my buddy, where are you? There you are. My buddy Jonty McCollyer and my other good friend, Pharmacist Ben Fuchs. And today we are going to be talking about advanced team building. Now, Jonty, are you the one that came up with the advanced team building like phrase, or tell us a little bit about
I couldn't tell you necessarily, Rebecca, but I think my approach to it, I haven't seen anywhere else. Being in the digital marketing end of a network marketing business, I get inundated with advertisements from you name it, everybody. And I like to see what other people are doing. Folks that can afford to advertise tend to be doing something right. So I dug through an awful lot of it, and I sort of always saw the same template. And it was something that I felt kind of nauseating, honestly. There's always this kind of this is the one secret that I figured out to get extremely rich extremely fast. And that's never been the personality of our organization and our team. And that's never been the intention. I mean, there might be some people in Youngevity who came into it with the idea of doing that, but what I've always experienced is a group of folks who really want to try to help each other out and help other people out and find meaning in that. And then I was kind of just sort of thinking about how has it worked for us? Because I also see it not work for folks. And it's so often because there's this, the other thing you hear a lot is this idea of replicating yourself. Figure out how to be a great person that can go up to another individual and say to them, hey, you really should try this thing, and then get them to be exactly you doing exactly that. And they, if you just replicate yourself over and over again, then you'll be incredibly successful. And what I've seen in practice in the last 12 years is that doesn't usually work. Some people that works. There's some folks who just have the right charisma, whatever it is. But what I've seen work is of folks who are able to create a sort of collective of people with skill sets that are necessary to essentially run a business. If you approach any small business, it has different elements. There's somebody who handles the accounting and the books. There's somebody who's a great receptionist. There's a variety of different roles that different people play, and there are certain roles that are really useful to have if you're going to try and do what we're doing. I think you were mentioning that just before the meeting started, Rebecca, that there's sort of a different hat that certainly you, Ben, and I, and several other of the folks who are with us here wear. I would call Ben a content matter expert if we were in any other sort of setting, because he is incredibly knowledgeable and can present complex ideas in a way that people can understand them, which is an amazing skill set to have as part of a team. You, Rebecca, are excellent at bringing different people together, at organizing things, at making things happen, and I'm good at making sure that all of the various nuts and bolts in the background that take the information and present it to people such that they can actually find it and access it are functioning.
So yeah, you kind of jumped into the whole matter of it before I was able to really truly introduce you. So folks, I would like to introduce to you Jonty McCollyer, who is our digital presence master. He is our webmaster, and he has just digitally and throughout his experience with using technology helped us to be a presence that, as he mentioned, can be found. So I would like everybody to meet the face, the man behind the person that helped us get all of that going with Critical Health News and also Daily with Doc. And then we have Pharmacist Ben Fuchs. As Jonty said, he is a content master, and he has a way of teaching that really speaks to people in a way that they can understand things instead of over people's heads, and people wonder, what did he just say? So Pharmacist Ben Fuchs, Jonty McCollyer, and myself, I think we've created this triad that really works well together. Plus we have other people within our team. I mean, it's not just the three of us. I couldn't do this show without my team, without Ruth Ellen Sanchez and AJ and Marilyn, and we've got Albert and Sherry, and Phyllis. Can't forget Phyllis. Because with each of us doing our own little part, it makes everything easier. For me, anyways, because I've done it all. And now I don't have to. Now you and Ben have put together many videos that people utilize and use as resources when talking about health. And you've been doing that since when?
Ben, you and I started working on articles and videos for Critical Health News, I think in 2015. And I believe we have somewhere in the order of about 140 videos that you and I did. And then the rest is articles. I think it's a 450-day auto response sequence is what we have set up. So if you sign up for the newsletter at Critical Health News, you'll have 450 days worth of content.
And these are available to everybody. And that's really important. I want everybody listening to understand that we're here to help everybody. I do videos with Jonty and Rebecca too. I can do them with you guys too. If you guys want to do a video series, if you want to do a 1 video or 2 videos, I could do them with you. I'm happy to do it. I love doing it. Jonty can put together your digital stuff. If I don't mean to be presumptuous, Jonty, but Jonty can help you with your digital stuff. Rebecca can help you with your team building. We could do this for everybody. Personally, one of my favorite things to do is to do 3-way phone calls. So if you have a problem patient or you have questions about a customer has questions about a product, I'm happy to do that. And one of my super extra favorite things to do is talk to healthcare professionals. And healthcare professionals are gold if they get bought into Youngevity, because they have customers. They have a built-in customer base. They have patients that come in to see them, and that will take their advice, whatever their advice is about products. So if you find dentists or chiropractors or physicians or even massage therapists or acupuncturists or Reiki people, these people are especially sensitive to this message. Sometimes I feel like regular, average, everyday Joes who don't know a lot about chemistry or a lot about health get intimidated when they talk to these healthcare professionals. But this is a message that resonates really well with healthcare professionals if it's presented from another healthcare professional, if it's presented correctly, and I'm happy to do that. So take advantage of me, take advantage of Rebecca, take advantage of Jonty. We're here to help you grow your business, and we can do it for you. We can do it for you in terms of product information, helping people with the health side of things, helping people with the team building side of things, helping people with the digital side of things. We're at your disposal. There's no reason why you guys can't build a great business with the kind of help that we can give you.
Well, and I think that, well, folks, I'm nobody special. I used my passion to help people because, and that passion, I mean, I've always loved people, but I was at a place where I was super sick, ready to give up when I found Dr. Wallach. And I was able to find that passion again to keep going. And that's my goal, is to help people thrive. And, you know, just putting yourself out there. I stepped outside of my box, and people had, you know, they're like, hey, Becca, why don't you try this? Would you do this? Would you do this? And instead of saying, no, I can't do that, I'm like, okay, let's give it a shot. And I'm so glad that I did, because here we are today. You know, I'm a 3-star with Youngevity. I have a fantastic team, and I'm getting set up to be 4-star, which I'm super excited about. And it's because of the work that Jonty and Ben have done and included me in, that we're able to build this together. So it's not, you know, some people's like, oh, you come in at the top, they're the people that succeed. Well, folks, I'm definitely not at the top. And I'm still finding success. So it's an amazing thing. So network marketing, there's a lot of people that kind of have this negative, you know, look on network marketing or multi-level marketing. Well, folks, if you go to the bank, you've got your bank manager, or you've got the owner, you've got the managers or the district managers, and then you got the branch managers. How is that not multi-levels? And here we're getting paid for our own efforts. It's not just somebody saying, okay, we'll pay you this, and that's as much as you can go. Our limit is only us. So I love the fact that Jonty has brought in those skills in being able to put us in a digital world that is very competitive. And Ben, you have the content and the knowledge and, you know, the presence and the ability to draw people in, and I just get to talk. I think it's fabulous, and coach people and teach them how to be a coach.
Well, Rebecca, I think you bring up a very important concept, and something that I think people tend to not really comprehend about this is it's just another way of compensating people for their time. So and it's very flexible. And then, you know, I mean, you can have a situation where, gosh, We just need somebody to produce video. Well, let's say you build a team, and the team is composed of several different people, a content matter expert, somebody that's got access to an audience and or has the ability to seek out people that have audiences, somebody that's good at organizing and bringing people together, somebody that's good at coming up with protocols for folks. You've got all these different folks on a team together, and all of them are somewhere in the somewhere in the system, above each other, under each other, next to each other, whatever it is, whatever works. And they all get some share of the sales, however you decided of doing that. You can still cut somebody a check to make a video for you. It's a legitimate business, so it's as open and flexible as any small business is. Whatever you need to do to make it work is what you should do. And you can have paid advertising. You can pay people to advertise for you. You can you can hire somebody to take out the trash. Whatever it is, whatever you got to do. It's just a slightly different structure. And as a result, I think people have all these strange connotations about it, which I think becomes sort of a barrier to just making a functional business. If you're a small business, if you consider yourself a small business owner or a participant in a small business, and I just, as a caveat, I want to say, if you really want to stick it to the man, or if you really want to do something to make the world a freer place, a more human-friendly place, small business, own your own business or participate in a small business. So it's a wonderful opportunity to do that as an aside. I don't mean to dwell on the political aspects, but I also feel like there's something really good about that as well. So consider yourself a small business owner, and then also consider yourself a participant in a small business.
Yeah, I agree. You know, folks, there's so many different opportunities that you can take, that it can either be a hobby or you can make it a thriving business. And that's something that we're doing, is making this a thriving business. And we have a number of people on with us today. I would like to open up the floor to questions. So folks, if you've got questions about business, how you can incorporate your skills into this business, how you can go about building advanced team building, please raise your hand. We are open to take questions, and make sure that, you know, if you're not quite sure where you can fit in, whether it's within your own team or if you're new joining us and want to be part of a team, we want to make sure that those who are seeking it find it. So if we have any questions, and I'm going to look in the chat here to see if there were any questions. And yeah, so there is one person here that is putting up a statement that says most MLMs sell sawdust for supplements, then it gives us a bad name. And that's absolutely right. There's a lot of things out there that don't deliver on what they promise.
Ben, do you ever get emails saying, big opportunity, do you want to sell our super cheap supplements made in Shanghai?
They never say made in Shanghai, but I do get those advertisements. Yes, I'm sure you do too.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen quite a few, and if our goal was just to try to put a label on something with our brand on it and ship it out the door as quickly as we could, then I suppose there's what some might consider an opportunity there. But there's a reason why we don't go that route. I'd love to know what your perspective is on why we're sticking with this particular product line.
Well, I'll tell you why. Beyond Tangy Tangerine is the most exquisitely formulated product I've ever seen. I've been formulating myself for many, many years. Whoever put that thing together is a genius. But one of the beautiful things about the Youngevity supplements, and the reason Youngevity stuck around for so long, is because it's really simple. It's the Mighty 90 essential nutrients. And while there's all these satellite products and things that you could do, the things that you can do on the to support the Mighty 90 essential nutrients, one of the great hidden gems of the longevity supplement business is the fact that so many people are deficient in basic nutrients. And the body is set up so that the more deficient we are, the faster we absorb the nutrients, which means it's almost like cheating in a way, because it's a very rare person that is not going to notice health benefits from supplementing with something as simple and as basic as the Healthy Start Pack. Not to mention once you start adding in the ultimate niacin and the ultimate selenium and the nightly essence and the daily digest and the True to Life liver detox and all the other hundreds of different products. So the deficiencies that people have, the standard American diet based nutritional deficiencies that most people have, work in our favor, because it's a rare person that's not going to notice dramatic benefits from starting a supplement, starting the Youngevity Mighty 90 Essential Nutrients Supplement Program. And that's almost like cheating. And if you want to even simplify it even further, just the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. If you walk around with Beyond Tangy Tangerine packets in your pocket and just talk to random strangers and put a little Beyond Tangy Tangerine in a bottle of water and have them sip on it, it's a very rare person that's not going to notice a significant benefit. And many of those people are going to be part of the business, or at very least, they're going to be customers of yours. So the fact that people are so nutritionally deficient, plus the fact that the human body is like a deficient human body sucks up nutrients like a dry sponge sucks up water, works in our favor so much that it's almost impossible not to be able to turn a stranger into a Youngevity customer, into at the very least a Beyond Tangy Tangerine customer. And some of those people are going to be business builders as well.
So Jeff has a comment here. He says that he's found that the whole food plant-based group, and he lists a couple different doctors, they all say no animal food, very little oil, no eggs, very bad, no dairy, cholesterol.
Well, let me address that. First of all, it's anybody who says that no animal food, no eggs, no dairy isn't really a sophisticated healthcare professional. Well, somebody who can say, an average person might be able to say stuff like that. For a healthcare professional to say no of anything for everybody is very, very naive and unsophisticated, because everybody's got their own specific needs. That being said, animal foods contain nutrients and building blocks that are not available in plants. Period. End of story. There's taurine, there's vitamin B12, there's cholesterol, there's nutrients that only vitamin D, there's vitamin A, there's nutrients that only animals make that are only in animal foods, period. So if you don't do it, you're going to be supplementing. If you're going to be supplementing, you're probably going to be getting it from an animal product anyway. That's first of all. Second of all, as far as plants go, plants contain molecules that wreak havoc on the human body in terms of immunity and inflammation. These molecules, most people heard of by now, called lectins. Dr. Wallach's been talking about these for years. And gluten is just one of hundreds, maybe thousands of different molecules that are found in plants and not found in animal foods. In fact, nobody's allergic to meat, but lots of people are allergic to tomatoes or other nightshades. There are molecules that are found in broccoli and even in lettuce that can feed bacteria in the small intestine. And we've talked about SIBO and histamine and mast cell activation on this program before, that aren't in meats or aren't in animal foods. So to be simplistic and to say something as simple-minded as animal foods bad, vegetables good, any healthcare professional that says something like that should be immediately dismissed. And it's very few real healthcare professionals that will say that. And then third of all, as far as whole food supplements go, and this is really important because there's a lot of them out there now, the problem with whole food supplements that people sell is you don't get the doses of nutrients that you need. And they will dance around that all day by telling you these are coming from whole foods, but they don't have the concentrated nutrients that even the Beyond Tangy Tangerine provides. Remember, we talk about concentrated nutrients. We're talking about concentrated nutrients that are based on something called the RDAs. And everybody should really understand this as people who are representing Youngevity. The RDAs, and I tease and I make a joke, but it's not really a joke. While it stands for recommended daily allowance, I make a joke and I say it stands for the ridiculous deficiency allowance. And it's not really a joke, it's serious, because the RDAs are set up to keep you from dying. or to keep you from getting a horrible disease. They're not set up to thrive, to keep you thriving. And this is what the medical model is about. The medical model is not about keeping you thriving. The medical model is not about giving you boundless energy or tremendous resistance to disease or big, strong muscles. The medical model is to keep you from being dead. So if you're satisfied with just not being dead, then go by the RDAs and go see your doctor and get your medicine. But if you're interested in thriving, if you're interested in having boundless energy, if you're interested in being resistant to whatever bacterial or viral or microbial infection that happens to be in the neighborhood or in the vicinity, then you need to have generous, copious amounts of nutrients that far transcend the RDAs by thousands of %. And that's what just something as simple as the Beyond Tangy Tangerine does for you, let alone the entire Healthy Start Pack. These are not designed to give you the bare minimum. These are designed to give you good, healthy, powerful doses. Whole food nutrients can't do that, because what they're doing is they're taking broccoli and they're crushing it up and they're giving you the broccoli powder, which is great. That's fine, but it doesn't give you the powerful amounts of the vitamins and the minerals, and the aminos and the fatty acids, the mighty 90 essential nutrients that you get when you have a supplement program that's as robust as the Healthy Start Pack, or even, as I say, the Beyond Tangy Tangerine. So number one, no healthcare professional is going to say, no sophisticated healthcare professional is going to say, no healthcare professional worth their salt is going to say animal foods are all bad, or only vegetables. You should only eat vegetable, or you should only eat plant foods. And number two, these whole food things that you're talking about don't give you the generous amount of nutrients, because they're grinding up foods to get you the basics, and they're based on the recommended daily allowances, which don't provide you with anything near what you need to have a full, powerful, vigorous, long life.
Well, I know you've helped quite a few, Ben. I've helped quite a few people also that have come from that vegetarian, vegan type diet.
Yes.
That they had no muscle mass. They were falling apart.
Yeah.
All their joints.
We're animals. We're omnivores. We're supposed to eat everything. We're supposed to get nutrients from everything. And animal foods contain nutrients specific for building animals, which we are. You know, Doc's been talking about cholesterol for decades, understandably, because cholesterol, not only is cholesterol an important building molecule, critical building molecule, in my opinion, it is the most fundamental molecule in the body, but the cholesterol in foods is contained in what I call the cholesterol complex, which is a complex of nutrients like vitamin A and lecithin and vitamin K that are specifically, and phospholipids, that are specifically designed for building animals. The difference between a human being and a fern plant is this cholesterol complex. Cholesterol is what distinguishes movement. It distinguishes neurology. It distinguishes steroid hormones. It's the key element that makes us different from plants. And so to deprive the body of cholesterol, and even more fundamentally, the cholesterol complex with the vitamin K and the phospholipids and the lecithin and the vitamin D and the vitamin A, is almost criminal. And no healthcare professional who understands biochemistry will ever do that. There are alternative healthcare professionals who aren't chemists and sometimes will say things like that, but no sophisticated healthcare professional will ever tell you, don't eat cholesterol, or don't eat animal foods, or just eat vegetable foods.
Or that the liver will make all the cholesterol you need.
Or the liver will make all the cholesterol. Yeah, that's right.
If the liver is not supported, folks, the liver is not going to do what your body needs to be able to thrive. So, you know, there's a lot of different ways that we can go with this. And I know we're talking about team building and the advanced team building structure that we have put together in using each other's strengths, working together to have a complete system, a complete business model. So we definitely want to make sure that folks, if you're on with us and you have a question, please raise your hand and ask your questions. And if you have a question, you think maybe, you know, it's like a silly question. There are no silly questions, folks, because somebody else probably has that as well. So we want to do a call to action. You're finding this program. You are plugged in with us today, not by chance, but for a purpose. And I know I've got LP out on YouTube saying that they want to be involved. So reach out to us on the website. Go to DailywithDoc.com, use contact option from the menu, send us an email, and let's help you figure out where you can become involved using your skills, your skill set. Ben, I know we want to open this up to questions. So
If you have questions about product, if people have questions about products, I'm happy to answer that. Or about health challenges that patients have, you know, they have a problem patient or problem that they want to deal with. I'm happy to help.
All right. Well, and for those who don't know him, I would like to introduce the man who started this crusade. And let me just add him real quick, because he has been just itching. You know, vacation for him is more work for me. So Dr. Joel Wallach is on with us today. And I love the fact that he has learned technology to be able to get himself on shows like this and share the message. So Dr. Joel Wallach started out as a young child with some behavioral issues, folks. And in our communities and environments around the world, we have a lot of kids that are really struggling with being able to sit through class, being able to, you know, function and stay on task and be productive within their families, within their communities. And Dr. Wallach, he started out as one of those kids. He overcame and became a medical genius using what God gave him after figuring out what was causing all of the issues that he was having. And so he put together this crusade to reach the masses, and we are part of that team to reach the masses. So Dr. Joel Wallach, and I know you want to promote the flip chart. I know you do, but we want to really let people know that, you know, we're not here just by chance. A lot of research went into this. A lot of people have been helped, which has kept us going now for, I believe, 27 years strong in building in this whole industry of quality supplementation. So, Dr. Wallach, would you like to say hello?
Hello. Thank you. Thank you for getting Jonty and he's hidden.
Pharmacist Ben.
Pharmacist, yeah, he's hidden here by the microphone. Yeah, Pharmacist
Gotta
Ben.
look around everything.
Okay, so Jonty and Pharmacist Ben, great teammates, great skills, great communicators, and they've helped us build a healthy population. Okay, this is something that is unimpeachable. Now, when I was 4 years old, it was really very disruptive and had all kinds of behavioral problems. And again, I began to eat animal foods. And I got rid of my problems. Didn't have to go back to the doctors. When I was, let's see here. When I was a teenager, and I'll go back to 9. Let's go back when I was 9 years old. They were going to put me in an institute because I was very disruptive. I was very physical because I worked on a farm and throwing bales of hay. I was very strong. And I could beat up a 50-year-old man who was a boxer. I mean, you know, I had the thing. But I said, well, why are the animals not having the problem? So I started eating the pellets from the calves, so alfalfa pellets with all the vitamins and minerals in it. And in just weeks, I got rid of the problems that I'd had for years. Okay. And so this is what got me going in the right direction. And I cannot thank, there's so many people who have come along with us as teammates. And again, let's see here. It's one of those things where Pharmacist Ben and Jonty, they're just really great. What should I say? Family members. I'm looking for family members here. And it's one of those things where the flip chart, I don't want to spend a lot of time on it, but it gives you credibility because we took all these famous people we've dealt with, who had diseases. The best thing that the medical system could do for them didn't help them. And they gave up. And somebody introduced them to me, you know, people like, let's see here, Danny Glover, Pat Boone,
Yep.
Theo Ratliff, Mike Glenn, the Stinger, the basketball player. And then we had people, all kinds of pastors. We have Martin Luther King III, all these people who took me around the world speaking in like 50 different countries and taking this message out there. And we built a community. We built a community with this information. And it's one of those things where I figured out where the problem started. The problem started at 3 o'clock in the afternoon in 1888. Okay. And this was in Wisconsin, when the first commercial electricity was delivered to a house in Wisconsin in 1888, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And by the turn of the century, humanity was doomed because of electricity. Now, for 3,000 years, we'd been getting our mineral nutrition by putting the wood ashes and coal ashes we had used for cooking and heating into our gardens for fertilizer, and the plants would suck them up. We got the minerals, okay, not only in the wood ashes and coal ashes, but in water. We didn't filter the water. We had.
Well, so Doc, those dams that created the electricity, they just messed up the whole natural flow of life. And what Dr. Wallach is trying to say is, you know, the nutrients are no longer in our food. The areas that we used to have that water flowing with minerals is no longer available because it's being backed up by those dams.
Now,
and folks, what Dr. Wallach had also found, just a moment,
okay,
is that there are sources that we can intentionally make sure that they are included in our diets so that we don't have to depend on food, which the U.S. Senate bill, was it 264?
267.
267 has
Oh,
proven
no, it was
that soil.
264. It was 264. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Has proven that, you know, the soil does not have the nutrients needed to sustain life. So folks, what Dr. Wallach has started is a business, which his son now is running, that provides quality supplementation that people can use to not just barely survive, but actually thrive. And for myself, thriving is so much better than just barely surviving. And some days I didn't think I was going to survive. So Dr. Wallach has done such a great job leading this crusade. We do have the flip chart that goes through, like he said, I think there's 13 different individuals that are high profile that have been helped through his message, just a few. And it also talks about a lot of those misdiagnosed conditions that have resulted because the medical community says, don't eat cholesterol and some of these other things. So Dr. Wallach, I know you've got a whole lot to say because you've been quiet for a little while, but we're gonna be bringing you back on and making sure that Daily with Doc keeps Dr. Wallach incorporated into its programming. So thank you, Doc, for being here with us today.
Well, thank you for having me. And I just want to say one or two little things. I'll make it very short. Again, when you ask people 1,000 years ago, where did you come from? Why did you live to be 100? Well, I came from the land flowing with milk and honey. Everybody's heard of the land flowing with milk and honey. Okay, that wasn't cow's milk or goat's milk. It was glacial milk, where the glaciers are grinding up rocks up in the mountains, and the rock dust was white, got into the streams coming down the sides of the mountains. It looked like milk coming down the sides of the mountain. So the people 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 years ago were calling it milk. But it was mineral milk, okay? And so this is why they live so long. This people who came from the land flowing with milk and honey was glacial milk, not cow's milk. It wasn't some mythical thing. They didn't know why. They didn't have the technology to be able to identify and do the analyses of what was going on with that water. Okay. Now I want to stop there and go to one more little thing. And I want to talk about briefly, let's see here, Dan Buettner and the let's see
Blue
here,
zones.
the blue zones. Yeah, the blue zones. You know, the blue zones are places where there's natural sources of minerals in the water and the land because of glaciers and flooding and all this kind of stuff. Okay. And he's become an expert of identifying all of these blue zones around the world. But he's made the mistake of thinking it's because they party every night and hug each other is why they live a long time. No, it's because they're getting the nutrients out of the soil. Their gardens are sucking up the nutrients there. And when we went to electricity and we built the dams, we stopped the flooding. Okay, when we got the hydroelectric, we stopped the flooding. And doctors will tell you, don't waste your money on vitamins and minerals, just eat well. You get everything you need, just eat well. That is impossible. You cannot get everything you need by eating well. You must supplement. And if you're in a blue zone, you're supplementing because you're growing your own food, okay, where there's veins of these minerals in the soil, okay? And so you have to, when you start putting things together, and of course, the story of the change to electricity is in my book, Hell's Kitchen. It's a switch from wood and coal as fuel, which we had used for over 3,000 years, okay? Okay, we went to electricity, all kinds of bad things started, okay? And so it's one of those things where all these famous people, they wrote forwards to my books and things like that, you know, like Pat Boone and Danny Glover and Theo Rand, okay?
They're part of this crusade, Dr. Wallach,
Yes.
and part of what this program today is about is advanced team building. Using your research and what you've put together in creating and initiating this crusade, using the skills of Pharmacist Ben, who found value in your research and has been able to incorporate it in what he does and helping to spread the news. And then using the digital mastery of being able to put information together into video format, into websites, and getting it out on the big wide web that is so vast, but we can be found because of Jonty and what he has done. And then me just talking a lot and caring about people and teaching people how to coach, and being part of like the Institute of Holistic Health, where we teach about the 4 areas of health, how they're affected by nutritional deficiencies, and also using what Dr. Wallach has put together as solutions to those nutritional deficiencies. And then it goes beyond just what you put in your mouth, people. It's mind, body, and soul. So I truly think, Dr. Wallach, that partying, being happy, being around people and sharing that positive energy does play into living long. But if you don't have the nutrition, you're going to cut yourself short.
Well,
Yeah,
Rebecca, I
I
would
think you're
think
going to cut you short.
if you get
either
the
way.
nutrition, you're more likely to stay up late at night and hug people and have a good time. So there might be a reverse correlation there.
So absolutely. So thank you, Dr. Wallach, for being here today and starting what we are able to now continue and help build. Thank you. Thank you. And we have a question here. So let's go ahead and AJ. How are you today?
Folks? Great to see you, Ben and Jonty. I guess this question from YouTube would be suited for Ben. Hi, this is from Olga. Hi, can killer biotic be taken for a prolonged period of time?
Yes, killer biotic can be taken for a long period of time. It's not an antibiotic like an antibiotic drug. And that's important. You know, killer biotic's got antibiotic properties, but the nutrients in the killer biotic, particularly the beta cytosterol and the colostrum, are general nutrients. There's also propolis in there, which is one of nature's most packed multi-nutrient supplements or foods. I guess you could say propolis comes from bees. And then there's also things like cayenne and various mushrooms like turkey tail and cordyceps and reishi mushrooms. All of these are not only antiseptic or antimicrobial, but they're also ergogenic, which is a fancy way of saying they improve performance. They improve athletic performance, particularly cordyceps and turkey tail and maitake, but they'll also improve life performance. So Killer Biotic has got antimicrobial properties, but it's not like an ordinary antibiotic. Ordinary antibiotics you don't want to stay on for a long period of time. Killer Biotic with the colostrum, which is a natural immune booster, has natural antimicrobials in it, and cytosterol, beta sitosterol are just building nutritional supplements that support the immune system, so the immune system can take care of the antimicrobial properties, versus antibiotics, which kill bacteria. Does that make sense? Killer Biotic doesn't kill bacteria as much as it supports the immune system to kill bacteria and microbes, fungi, viruses, and other things. You can take it for the rest of your life. You can take it every day for the rest of your life.
Thank you. And then just real briefly, what's the basic thing, the most basic thing one should do if they wanted to build a YGY business?
This is what I tell people. This is just, Rebecca's much better at this than I am, so she should probably answer this question. But what I say to people is find a health subject, or it doesn't even have to be a health subject. Find a subject you like. It could be health, it could be Alzheimer's, it could be diabetes, it could be skin problems, it could be something that you've dealt with and conquered. It could be something that you had a family member that you've helped with. It could be something that's just a passion of yours in terms of health. If it's not health, it could be something like legal or digital or mind power or meditation or spirituality, and become an expert in whatever that thing is. And it doesn't take long, by the way, to become an expert. It takes a week to become an expert. A week of studying Alzheimer's disease, you're going to know more about Alzheimer's disease than 90% of people out there. And then start hanging up posters or go on the internet and putting ads up posts up on Facebook or Instagram that says, I am going to do a talk on Alzheimer's disease. I'm going to do a talk on diabetes. I'm going to do a talk on psoriasis. I'm going to do a talk on legal issues, on whatever it is that your passion is. So you get seen as an expert and as a resource for people to see that you're going to help them in their lives with whatever subject matter that is. And all of a sudden, everybody's got issues with diabetes is going to come to your talk at the library. Everybody's got issues with weight loss is going to come to your talk at the local meeting center or in your home or wherever it is. And you will gradually, over the course of time, it won't take very long. If you do a talk once a week or once a month, it'll take you 3 or 4 months before you will become seen as the local neighborhood or town or area expert on whatever that passion of yours is. And when you're doing your talks, you're going to talk about the Mighty 90 essential nutrients. You're going to talk about the Healthy Start Pack. You're going to talk about the Synaptive. You're going to talk about the blood sugar pack. You're going to talk about whatever it is, and you're going to have the stuff there for sale. And so people will see you as somebody who is there to help them with their health challenge. And of course, part of helping them with their health challenge, if it's nutrition or health that you're talking about, is going to be to have them participate in Youngevity. And Youngevity has more than health products. So whatever it is, you can have your health challenge be about investing or be about legal stuff or any of the other side businesses that Youngevity has. But most importantly is you want to be seen as somebody who's going to help people with whatever their issue is. That's how I suggest it. Rebecca, you probably know more about than I do.
Yeah, we all have our niche, something that we're passionate about. Ladies, your passion may be about beauty and just making sure people know that there are non-toxic things to put on their skin as makeup to enhance those features. You don't want to cover everything up, but enhance them. And with nutrition, we do it from the inside out, not just the outside in. So it all ties together in finding your niche. I mean, for parents who have kiddos that are struggling with, behavioral issues, that could be your niche in helping other parents help their kids be the absolute best that they can possibly be. For those of us who have kids in sports, whether that's dance, cheerleading, football, baseball, basketball, those kiddos need nutrition so that they can be healthier adults and live longer lives with less pain. So finding your niche and even focusing on that, it doesn't have to be a broad, throw the dice and whatever is needed is, what you come up with, but that is an option as well. Yeah. We help people build businesses. And I just wanted to leave AJ up for a moment because he is another one of our team members. What do you mean? What are you telling me to wait for?
No, ma'am.
Because he's using his skills to help us, on the next platform, bringing in his experience from television and helping us put this all on TV as well. So I just wanted to say thank you, AJ, for being part of this team also.
And Ben, a woman is asking, any tips for someone dealing with endometriosis?
Yes, lots of tips for endometriosis. First of all, endometriosis, like a lot of female issues, should be regarded as an intestinal problem first and foremost via the molecule histamine and SIBO. So anything you do for digestive support, which includes most especially the I-26, which we don't talk about, in my opinion, anywhere near enough. I-26 is designed to kill excess bacteria in the small intestine. We've talked about, I don't want to, repeat myself all over again about SIBO. We spent a lot of time talking about SIBO, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, before, but the intestine processes estrogen. When the intestine is not functioning correctly, particularly bacteria, estrogen can build up. When estrogen builds up, you run into all kinds of estrogenic health issues, including endometriosis, but also things like fibroids and cysts and fibromyalgia and PMS and infertility and bad menopause. All of that is the result of excess estrogen that's not being cleared out. There's a lot of reasons for that, but one of the main reasons is the SIBO condition. So everybody who has endometriosis knows that they also have an intestinal problem. So do everything you need to do for the digestive support, including the daily digest, the I-26, the nightly essence, the ultimate enzymes. There's a whole bunch of ultimate microbiome. There's a whole bunch of digestive support supplements. Secondly, essential fatty acids, the ultimate EFAs, are critical for all estrogen health issues. And I don't want to repeat myself, but just regard endometriosis as an estrogenic health issue. The ultimate EFAs are a must-have. Of course, you get that in the Healthy Start Pack, and you'll get a lot of other good nutrients for supporting estrogen health, including magnesium and selenium in the Healthy Start Pack. And you could also throw in some ultimate selenium as well. And then I would also be using blood sugar support. So instead of the Healthy Start Pack, you might try the Healthy Blood Sugar Pack. And then if you want to do, you want to throw in a couple other things in terms of supporting hormones, the Zero Fem product. And then there's the, what's the other fem product, Rebecca?
We have the Zerafem, we have the woman's hormone balancer.
The woman's hormone, that's the one I think of. The woman's hormone balance and the Zero Fem. If you want to do it in a more specific fashion, but first and foremost, work on digestive health. Work with the healthy Start Pack or the Healthy Blood Sugar Pack for essential fatty acids and blood sugar support. That's the first thing you want to do. And then if you want to throw in a few other things, the Zero Fem and the woman's healthy balance.
All right.
And that's not just true for endometriosis. That's true for all estrogen health issues.
Thank you, Ben.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ben. Absolutely. And I think there was one more question that I saw here that had to do with what would you suggest or should do or take after a liver transplant?
Well, when you're on a liver transplant, they give you immune suppressants. When you have any organ transplant, they give you immune suppressant drugs and some really powerful immune suppressant drugs, and those just wreak complete havoc on the body. So it's really tough. The Healthy Start Pack for sure. And then if you wanted to do the digestive support, remember the liver is a digestive organ. So all of so it does a lot of things, but one of its main things is to help us process our foods. And so I would be doing all the digestive support, especially the ultimate enzymes, because with liver problems, you're not going to be able to make bile, and that's going to cause problems downstream in the intestine. So all of the digestive nutrients in addition to the Healthy Start Pack. And like I said before, I'll say it again. The good news is when you have a liver transplant or you have an organ transplant or you have any serious health challenge, your body's going to be extremely receptive to any nutrition you put in it. Especially when it's a digestive organ, because you're going to be dealing with, in addition to having the problems with the liver, you're going to have problems with malnourishment. And that's really important. When we talk about toxicity at the level of the intestine or the level of the liver, malnourishment becomes a really significant factor, because you're not going to be absorbing your nutrients as effectively. In the case of the liver, you're not going to be able to absorb your fatty nutrients as effectively. In the case of the intestine, you're not going to be able to absorb any nutrients as effectively. And that means anything you put in the system in the way of supplementation is going to have a dramatic impact.
Absolutely. And then John has a statement here. He says there are over approximately 35 million people with kidney disease and are being told to go on a plant-based diet. What recommendations do you have to stop the progression?
Problem with the plant-based, hopefully those are the unsophisticated healthcare professionals. Let me tell you why. The number one problem with kidney disease is elevated blood sugar. And any diabetic will tell you that diabetes and kidney disease go hand in hand. The blood vessels in the kidney are very, 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 very tiny. That's how the kidney does its work. The blood vessels act like a sieve. So when the blood passes through the blood vessels, all the bad stuff, all the stuff that the body wants to reabsorb comes back out of the blood. Those tiny blood vessels are extremely susceptible to damage by sugar. And so when the blood sugar is high, as the blood is passing through these tiny blood vessels, it can burn those vessels. And that's the number one cause of kidney disease. So kidney disease should be treated first and foremost as a blood sugar problem. The problem with I don't know who would say that, such a thing, to go on a vegan or vegetarian diet, is vegan and vegetarian diets are high in sugar, which is the exact cause of the problem. So a vegan and vegetarian diet is a great way to assure that you're going to have even more kidney damage. So I'd be shocked to hear any healthcare professional understood the mechanism of kidney disease say something like that. Now, Rebecca, you told me some great stories about people who've completely gotten off of dialysis using nutrition, and you might want to share some of those stories. But I would put anybody with kidney disease, and the kidney disease, by the way, doesn't show up until you have like 15% or 20% kidney function. You could go with 80% kidney function or 70% of your kidney function gone, and you won't even know it, unless you get tested. So the kidney, there's tons of redundancy in the kidneys, and it takes a lot for the kidneys to be damaged to the point where you have so-called kidney disease. But I would put everybody who has kidney disease on the healthy blood sugar pack. That's how I would deal with it. And then Rebecca, you had some great story. You told me a couple great stories about people who got off of dialysis using. Why don't you tell some of these stories about folks who got off of dialysis?
My sister was one that had almost complete kidney failure. Well, she was at the complete kidney failure, and we were able to get her on a program. In fact, I didn't even know about Youngevity until 2017, and my son was born the same day my sister went into kidney failure in 2011. So she went 6 years on dialysis. And when we found out about Youngevity and Dr. Wallach's program, we got her on a program, started working with her. Well, I kept encouraging her to, make some food choice changes. Because folks, you can't out supplement a lousy diet, and M&Ms are not one of the 4 food groups, or even a vitamin chocolate. You got to choose your chocolate wisely. But after getting her on a program, she came to live with me. I was able to help her, not have those outside influences. And as I'm taking her to dialysis, the dialysis doctor said, well, I don't know what you're doing, but you have to stop because you don't have anything that we have to filter or take out. And she's like, well, I'm urinating like I'm supposed to. And isn't that the goal, to get better? And the doctor's like, well, you just have to stop because then we can't keep helping you. I'm like, okay, well, her numbers are all good, doc. You know, what's up with that statement? So folks, there's a lot that we can do as individuals that, you know, the medical community who is thriving because they are helping people maintain disease is not telling you. And, you know, just having that experience with my sister, and she was able to lose weight, my own experience, losing 100 pounds, being able to break free of that metabolic syndrome and all of the degenerative bone and disc conditions that I myself have, that keeps me going. And being able to have the opportunity to share with others so that they also can find that freedom from the whole medicine cabinet of pharmaceuticals. So my question, Jonty, what keeps you going?
Well, besides you and Ben, there's something that I see as a common theme, that there's this problem with truth, where we all kind of need a little truth in our lives in order to make sense of ourselves, I think. And we live in a world with a lot of mistruth or misdirection or just straight out lies. And hearing you describe how this doctor's upset that he can't continue doing dialysis, you know, you have to change something because otherwise I can't keep giving you dialysis. It seems like you know, there's a broken pharmaceutical industry. There's a broken medical industry, and it could be broken, but it could be built in a way that expresses untruth. And if you know, AJ fielded a question earlier about what one thing do you need in order to be successful in this business. A desire for the truth might be a good place to start. Funny how truth heals.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's one of the reasons I appreciate Ben so much, is that he just dishes out the truth and hands it to you on a plate in such a way that you can eat it like a very nutritious meal, you know.
Thank you.
And being a part of a system and a family, and that's the other thing is another one thing. I guess that's two things. Don't do it alone. And so I suppose togetherness in a desire for truth. If I were to
Love
make it a
it.
short
And
phrase.
Ben,
Yes.
I know we have to close this up as our time is over. What keeps you going?
Helping
promote-
people. Helping people. There's nothing I can't even describe or even begin to describe the joy and satisfaction and just on purpose, the sense of being on purpose that you get when you make a difference in people's lives. I got an email today from a gal. She says, you helped me with my stomach cancer 5 years ago. I didn't even remember this, but because I'll do calls with people and I'll just talk to them and then I won't hear from them. And this happened 5 years ago. And just getting a letter like that, it just puts you on fire. And that's what we can do. You know, we talk about the money's great and you can build a wonderful business, but don't forget, people need us. And even if you're on this call, you may think, oh, what do I know? You know more than 90% of people out there just by virtue of being on this call. Just by virtue of hearing some of the things we talked about today, that puts you in the upper echelon of the population in terms of what you understand about health and nutrition. Don't underestimate what you know, and don't underestimate the possible impact you can have on people's lives. That's what keeps me going, and I want everybody on this call to be able to experience the joy and the satisfaction that you can get when you put somebody on the Healthy Start Pack and they lose weight, or their blood sugar goes down, or they get off their medication, or they just flat out feel better.
Absolutely. And feeling better helps you be able to go out in this world and help somebody else feel better as well. Folks, Thank you so much for joining us here on Daily with Doc. I'm going to go ahead and have Marilyn come on the screen with me, and AJ as well, as they are our tech team here keeping things going. And Marilyn does such a fabulous job in doing dictation and helping to repeat the information that is being shared. Of course, we have AJ, who's helping make sure that we're out on all the platforms. Everything is running smoothly today. And without the big man himself, Dr. Jewel Wallach, we
Hey,
would
Dr.
not
Wallach.
be
Thank
here
you.
as
Thank you,
part
Doc.
of this crusade and family. So
Thank
folks,
you.
we invite you to join our crusade, join our family, reach out to the person that shared this program with you if there is no one to thank. And make sure that you go to our website, dailywithdoc.com, or email me at Becca
They got
at
40 and Duke has the other
dailywithdoc.com.
40.
So thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everybody. Bye.
Fabulous day, and bye for now.
Record.